I feel some days. I feel like some days we wake up and we're a little tired of the pep talk. And you know what? I'm a motivator, and I hope that you listen to me first thing in the morning when you're getting up, because I give you positive direction for the day, and that sets the tone for the whole day. If you open up to see what everybody's talking about, or what happened last night while you were sleeping, or it used to be read the paper, but now we turn to our social media. That shouldn't be the first thing, because that sets the tone for the day. Somewhere deep down in each and every one of us, when we really sit in silence, we know what we should be doing. Okay, we've replayed it 1,000 times. We don't need that rah rah. We need to see tangible results. We need reason. And you know what? Today, well, actually, all week, okay, we are given that reason. And it doesn't come in with a lightning bolt. It doesn't, it's not a miracle. It's just this quiet shift. And it feels like the effort we give starts to mean something again. We gain traction, or we feel traction. So this week, Mars will give us the will and Neptune will give us direction. And together, well, they remind us that we don't have to wait for everything to be figured out. That we can take this next step in this moment, in the now. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's break down the energy together. We'll start with the numerology, we'll go to the astrology, and then, of course, we'll turn to our beautiful cards. But first, let's turn to beautiful you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for your love, for your time, for your support, yeah, I hear your energy. Thank you for your energy. And, it's my hope that by the end of our time together, you now have, you've gained wisdom, you've insight to go forward with clarity, with confidence, and with love. So, hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Welcome to your daily focus. November the 3rd, 2025. So, the energy of the three. The energy of the three is beautiful. It's transformational. It's our voice, it's our thoughts, it's our mind, it's our ideas, it's our dreams, it's our curiosity being unleashed into the world. And if we look at it as a daily energy, it would be a 2 plus a 3 plus a 9, which is a 14. Now, the 14 asks us for balance in our life, to find the perfect balance of our what we consider to be abundance, or true love, or security and safety, or good health, or prosperity. Some people need those full bank accounts. Other people just want enough that they can sleep at night and know the bills are paid. Other people look at large families and the closeness of the family, and then the network of the family, or the network at work, being complete, being whole, or just having good health is more than any amount of anything else. The 14 is finding that true balance for yourself. 1 plus 4 is a 5. The 5 is one of my favorite numbers. It's a busy number. I'll warn you there, it's a busy number. But it's about being in the moment. It's about being present and happy and joy, and creating the laughter and the giggles. And dance in the streets. Get creative. Let your inner expression flow. Okay, I do want to remind you, okay, hang on. I'm not going to take long, and if you want to skip ahead, be my guest. Okay, but the journey of choosing myself, 2026. Okay. Or we've got the condensed if you want to journal every day. Okay. And follow some different scripts. Okay. The links are in the description box below. It really will be a transformative year. You really want to, you know, you really want to journey with the energy, to tap into the energy, to know what's coming next too. And this is all based on the sun and the moon astrology and the numerology. So this one's the full thing. It's 410 pages. This one um, is really just like the full moons, the new moon, summer solstice, things like that. So you're not journaling or anything, but you know, at those highlighted moments of the sun and the moon, because really those are two of the main driving forces in our life. So if we don't know anything else about astrology, we should know what our sun and our moon, you know, what is affecting us through the sun and the moon. So those are out descriptions in the description box. You can find that. Let's jump into the astrology, shall we? Sun is in Scorpio, Moon is in Aries, and Mars is going to be trining Neptune. So we have this positive energy of action and intuition coming together, working together. Now, we know Mars doesn't like to, or does love, actually loves to charge ahead. Okay, it's direct, it's assertive, it's passionate, it's goal driven, and normally Mars acts from this raw core center of us of willpower. You know, I want this, so I'm going after it. I'm getting this. But when Mars connects, especially in a trine with Neptune, what the drive changes, it shifts, it picks up Neptune's energy and it becomes guided, it becomes refined. It's channeled through our intuition. So yes, Mars still charges forward, but the motive shifts. Okay, it's not I want this, I'm getting this, I'm going to conquer this. It's I feel called to move in this direction, and so I shall. Um, yeah, that's really probably the best way of explaining this energy. Okay. Um, Neptune doesn't take away Mars's power, but it softens the edges, okay? And we become, you know, maybe like yeah, like a spiritual intelligence. We become the warrior who knows when to act, when to listen, when to move, just basically by our own instinct, by our intuition, by those gut feelings. Acts of kindness will speak very loud, louder than any kind of explanation we can give. So we don't really want to use our words as much on a day like today. We definitely want to tap into that imagination. Yeah, so if words have failed lately, then show it through action. We can harness this energy. You know, it's focusing on tasks that will blend purpose with intuition. Okay, it feels productive and it feels meaningful. So anything creative, anything spiritual, anything healing, service oriented, absolutely. If it helps someone, if it beautifies something, it moves your dream closer to being tangible, then it is aligned with this energy. You have great strength in moving forward during this time. So look at where you're putting your energy and your focus, okay? You know, maybe you've been thinking about doing something different. Okay, you know you have talents, you know you have abilities, and so you might be looking at changing the course of action, maybe a new job or volunteering. Maybe something that you've done as a hobby now turns into something that you want to sell, you want to market. Maybe you want to start a blog to move the world in a certain passion, a dream of yours, of theirs. Trying to reach out and start collaborating with somebody else or even a group. Sure. And we've all had these thoughts of taking these steps in the past. Okay, this isn't some like new path opening up to us on a day like today. It's more of we've thought about this before, but what happens? We almost do it, and then doubt starts to creep in. So today is an energy where we stop overthinking, we stop analyzing, and we start to feel. So we send the message, we post that piece, we make the call. It will open a door today because the energy is with us and we're utilizing this energy in a very purposeful way. So today's energy is about moving forward with purpose, to go within. Listen to your intuition, okay? And allow those dreams, those desires, those goals. And they all want to emerge, and let them. And step into the action that'll bring life to it. Cards are way over here. Let's turn to the cards. Did I pick it up right? Oh, we had the Hermit. There we go. The Hermit. We know how to go forward. Maybe we are ready to walk forward now. Maybe we have been sitting with some of this stuff for a while. Maybe it's time to make that move, that shift, to start that new beginning, to write chapter 1 in the journal. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Our underlying energy for today is the Hermit. Well, I guess, hang on, I gotta get a drink after that. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I almost feel like this is a point where the hermit goes into the cave, goes into the desert, you know, sits with themselves and thinks about, here I am. And this is what I've done and this is what I've accomplished and here I am. And this is where I want to go and how am I going to get there? And we now know what the first step is. We now know that it's time to stand up. That light will shine the way, and that is our intuition, our gut. It doesn't have to be a dramatic step, but there needs to be a step here. 7 of Swords, and don't be telling everybody. Don't be telling everybody this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm up to. They're going to use your words against you, or promote themselves. Okay, it's like, you had the whole weekend and you jump into the elevator with your buddy Monday morning back to work, and on the ride up to the 10th floor you're talking and you say, I had an idea this weekend about how to gain productivity in the shop. And you start telling them about it and they're nodding and, oh yeah, and what about this and what about that? They're asking questions, they're excited, you're sharing everything. And you go, yeah, I'm gonna walk in there, I'm gonna hit the washroom, but then I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna walk right into the boss's office and present it. What do you think? Yeah, sounds good, bud. You got this. And so you go off to the washroom, and by the time you hit the front door to walk into the boss, you fixed your hair 4 times. You're ready now. You see the guy in the elevator, the girl in the elevator, them, in with the boss, and they're shaking hands. So, hold them a secret. I mean, yes, you have your circle, of course, but be careful. Be careful. People will use your words against you. They'll take them out of context to make that self-doubt come flaring back in again. So don't give them the power. Don't give your power away. You're going to somewhere beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, celebration. There's tents in the background. And we're only taking what we need. So once again, that 14 energy about having the true balance of what we truly need to go forward with and leaving the rest behind. If it doesn't have some kind of context to who you are and where you're going, then it doesn't need to be on this journey right now. Come back and pick it up if you want, but right now, drop it. Go forward. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups hasn't been out in a while, and this is about embracing your dreams, your passions, your desires, your wants. This is about making them tangible, about embracing them and saying, yes, yes, it's you and I to the finish line. Let's go. Let's take that step. So this is where you are embracing that dream, that thought. And trust me when I say that nothing would be in our lives if it wasn't a thought first that was embraced and say, let's go. Let's do it together. So this is where you are embracing that idea that you have pushed down and pushed back because of some kind of fear, anxiety, limitation. Then we have the Ten of Cups, the happily ever after. This is the future. This is the card that's leading us into the future. That we can have that happily ever after on some scale, on some level. So what does it look like? So the dreaming big, and that's all there. Allow those dreams, those passions, those desires to come up. Okay? Let them say, pick me, pick me. And then pick one and take that step on. And it's not just today. It's, for the next, I'd say maybe Thursday, this energy will start to peter out on us. And actually, tomorrow, we might feel it even stronger. Or thereabouts, okay? Depending on where you are on the planet, right? So this energy is strong, but throughout the day, it's still gaining energy before it starts to lessen off for us. Okay, let's go to, I told myself I wasn't going to ramble because I started that job. That's why I look like I do. Dressed like I'm dressed. I had to change my jewelry. That was about it. And it's fun. And they pay me. Okay. And I can't tell you what it is because I signed all the NDAs. So, anyways, here we go. The healing stones: tenderness, care, gentleness, and nourishment. There we are. Now I'm going to try and hold that up really nice for you because I find that when we kind of just focus on that, or maybe even blur our focus a little bit on that, we see more depth to than what we initially saw, which gives us, something to reflect on, something to think about. The healing stones. So let's get that up for you so that you can do that. And stones have long been used in healing rituals by cultures across the world. When warmed, they can provide comfort and restoration for our aching bodies, and some traditions revere certain stones themselves for their magical healing qualities. This seemingly hard and harsh substance has the capacity to provide warmth, gentle, magical, tender care. The Healing Stones card is, of course, the healing card of the stack. Maybe you're in the process of healing something physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. This card appears for the reader as a sign that deep rest and healing are in progress. It comes with an invitation to say yes to your healing and to trust the process. It's also a message for you to prioritize your body, mind, and soul above all else, to treat yourself with tender care, to replenish, to nourish, to be gentle with yourself. So, how can you slow down that pace to that of the stones? How can you prioritize your body, mind, and soul today? I choose to go gently and treat my body, mind, and soul with tender care. So, yeah, let's not forget us, the vessel. Okay? Nothing can happen if we're not able to do it, right? In our lives. It's our walk. Okay? People can walk with us, but we got to keep the light on. We got to, we have to carry the lantern. So, or maybe people can help us carry the lantern. It's up to us to keep that lantern lit. Anyways, let's go to the animals. I asked them, what did that mean? And they said, oh, don't worry, they'll know. So, maybe I'll have to rewatch that. Okay, here we go. Our animal today is. Oh, darn. I had the deck upside down, guys. And we don't want. Oh, you know what? Isn't that funny? So I should have shown you the card. Came up upside down. And so I put it back in and started to reshuffle because my thing is the cards have to be upright when I shuffle them because I get a more positive message. If you're wondering why that is to me, I find that we still get a message, but it's more of a negative influence when the deck is and I write it. Anyways, this was the card that was supposed to come out, and then it just jumped out. So, design your space is definitely the card of the day. So, and I know a lot of you have this deck, and you usually pull your own cards. Let me know if the squirrel showed up, okay? Anyways, design your space. Rearrange, renovate, feng shui, action, clean. You sometimes have to break something up to make room, to make way for something new. Squirrel wants you to get going on that home improvement project you've been putting off. If it isn't a remodel, it could simply be you need to work on rearranging your home, possibly your office, in a manner that is less chaotic, less cluttered, and more aligned with peace, balance, harmony. You may need to call a feng shui consultant or possibly just check out a book on the topic that can help you and assist finding the right flow for your space. Squirrel is adding a red Christmas ornament to adorn her home. The color red is used to express passion, love, but sometimes also anger, jealousy. So make certain that the colors you use within your area bring a positive energy and you don't accidentally add something that would invoke negativity. By properly personalizing your space, you bring a warmth of higher energy to your area. So I guess that's like don't paint your walls red or something. But a bouquet of roses sitting on the table is absolutely fine because now we just got that beautiful hint, and it's in beauty, so it automatically will invoke passion and love, and to think about what the color is symbolizing for you. Are you wearing that yellow or that orange because you feel bright and alive and you just want the whole world to shine? Are you wearing, I don't know, black? I had to wear black because this is the kind of the color I have to wear. So, anyways, design your home, design your space, design your area. We don't notice the clutter, but everything does have an energy. Everything does have a vibration. Scientifically, it's very proven that everything is a bunch of molecules moving around so quickly that it forms different things, right? So, that being said, okay, it all has an energy that you are feeding on. that could be blocking you. You know, I did a house cleansing. Well, I've done several, but you know, the one time I said, you know, right here, there's something wrong, and it was somebody that they used to know, and it was some of their stuff, and then they got in a fight. They never came to pick up the stuff, and it was in a box. You know, and it was kind of things like that. But immediately the energy shifted. If you are smudging your environment in your rooms or something, and all of a sudden everything goes out, that's a lot of negative energy. It's a lot of negative energy. And how do you get rid of the negative energy? Well, maybe wearing something bright like yellow or orange, but, you know, maybe just smudge a little bit more often and start to purify your home on a more regular basis so that it gains energy. Okay. Anyways, I've talked too long. So until we meet again, remember, I do love you.